もう死んでいる。何？
Hey, John Rowe.
The topic of
We should do a podcast. We should do a podcast.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
Hey, John. Hey, John Rowe. We should do a podcast.
the topic of a podcast together, and honestly, I'm excited.
G'day, dorks, and welcome back to Lords of Dorktown, a podcast all about anime, cartoons, and video games. I'm your host, Philip, and the dork joining me tonight is a very close friend of mine. I've been trying to get him on the podcast for a while, and he's finally agreed to come on. It's my good friend, Andrew, a.k.a. Flash, a.k.a. Shit Nipples. How are you, buddy?
Shit nipples. Yeah, I'm pretty good, thanks, bro. Oh,
Nice.
well, kind of. I've had corona for the last fucking week, but you know, getting through it.
Who hasn't had the spicy cough these days? Hey, it's fucking. I feel uncool because I've gone this whole time without getting any Rona. I feel like
I was gonna say, like, you're not in unless you got it.
I know.
You're
I
not
feel
cool unless you got it.
I feel so out. But you've had Rona for the last little bit. So we were talking the other night about getting you on the podcast, and we're tossing up what we should do. And I would describe you as a man of very niche tastes. There's not many things that Andrew Flaherty is into, but the things he is into, he's very much into it.
Yeah, that is very true.
One of my oldest memories of you, because me and you have known each other about the same time. I've known all the dorks I bring on this show, like 10, 11, almost 12 years now, I think it is, that I've known you. And one of my earliest memories of you is you sitting at this busted old laptop. No, it was like a tower, this busted old tower PC, just thrashing RuneScape like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, wow. I actually had to log out of RuneScape to join this podcast.
That's amazing. Oh my god. The only person still playing RuneScape. It's crazy.
I literally stopped playing TFT to come play RuneScape for the last 2 or 3 days because I've been stuck inside with the Rona. It's just like, what do? I got time to grind. Let's play some Rune.
Oh man. It's a game I was much more an Adventure Quest guy than I was a RuneScape guy, if we're talking about internet games from the early 2000s.
Oh, I love that too, though. Didn't mind
Adventure-
killing a few frog zards in the day.
Oh, fuck, Adventure Quest was so good. I'd
yeah.
love to be able to get a dollar amount as to how much Adventure Quest made as a game, because I reckon there was so many kids pinching their parents' credit cards to get some shit in that game.
Oh, no, I was more on the hacking side to get my membership and all that other stuff as well.
I was too scared, man. I was always so scared on the internet to do anything like that. So I just played the free Adventure Quest for just grinded to get stuff.
Then they had the mech quests, and then it pretty much died out. There wasn't much to it after that for me, but they might have still building on it. Who knows?
Oh man, there's probably still people playing it. I saw a post about Neopets the other day on Reddit, and that was just like, it blew my mind that Neopets still existed as a thing.
Oh yeah, and what was the one that actually did close down? Club Penguin. I think that's actually gone now.
Yeah, but wasn't Club Penguin just like a massive pedophile hangout? I don't know if, for some reason, that's always stuck in my mind that Club Penguin was for pedophiles. Or was it Habbo Hotel?
Oh, I'm pretty sure Habbo Hotel was the one for the scammers.
Oh,
That
man.
was pretty abundant.
Habbo
in that.
Hotel was sick. Oh, I just want to go back on the browser now and just fucking start up some browser games. Are you kidding me? Oh. But we're not here to talk about any of that stuff. We're here to talk about one specific thing, a niche that we found that both me and you were into back in the day, and still have a similar interest or a vague interest in it now. Of course, we are talking about the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just doing a normal review for it, we thought we'd do something a bit different for this one, a little bit more special. We sat down and decided to pick our favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Episodes, and I think the original plan was we'll watch like 6 of our favorite episodes, and every time we picked something, that episode wasn't an episode, it was like 7 episodes, and we just remembered the crux of it. So because I think the first one you sent me was like, oh yeah, I really remember this episode was the Yugi Pegasus fight, the Yugi Pegasus duel. which goes for 5 episodes. It's 5 episodes long, that one card game.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah, but I mean, it's quite the monsters that that Pegasus was bringing out in that duel were quite memorable, but I didn't quite remember it being 3 to 4 episodes long. But as it was back in the day, that's pretty standard for an anime to get to the final crux of the battle, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for back in the day, it wasn't too out of place. If you like, it was pretty common, I suppose. So the episodes we finally settled on, the ones we were going to watch, was Into the Hornet's Nest, which is the 2-part episode where Yugi faces off against Weevil, the bug type duelist on Duel Island. The Face Off, which is the 3-part series, 3-part episodes on Duel Island, where it is Seto Kaiba versus Yugi Moto, the fated rematch of the two.
Yep.
And then the 3rd series of episodes we chose to watch was Champion versus Creator, part 1 and 2, which was Sento Kaiba again versus Pegasus. And then the 4th episodes we decided to watch was Yugi vs. Pegasus, which was a 5-part episode. And the last one was the climax of the season, the Dungeon Dice Monsters, which I thought was a 4-part episode, but turns out to be a 5-part episode. So I think we initially wanted 6 episodes total, and we ended up with a list that had 16 episodes, I think, or 15.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be one night of viewing.
I honestly, because we were talking about it like 2 nights ago, and I honestly was like, yeah, we'll set this list now. I'll chuck on a few episodes now. I'll go to bed. I'll get up, half an hour early in the morning, and I'll nut out the rest of the episodes. And then I've got a whole day to write some notes down and, figure out what we're going to do. And fuck, man, dude, I literally just finished the last Dungeon Dice Monsters episode before I called you. Like, I was at the wire to finish. It's ridiculous how many episodes we chose to watch.
Yeah, I only finished it around lunchtime today. I pretty much tried to nut them all out as soon as I could, write some notes down, and I pretty much watched every episode nearly twice just to go over it, just to make sure I got everything right. And yeah, well, it's good nostalgia coming back to it.
Oh yeah, so we should start at the back at the start with the first episodes we chose to watch, which was my pick. I picked these episodes. These were the ones that stood out to me a lot, and that's Into the Hornet's Nest. So this is Yugi Moto going up against Weevil in the first of the Duel Island battles. And I would say the Duel Island is probably the most nostalgic arc in original Yu-Gi-Oh! It's definitely what I think of the most when I think of Naruto. Oh, Naruto. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, my God. Naruto on the brain.
No. Yeah, how you get your glove, you get your star chips. Is that
it's
the one?
It's so iconic.
Yeah.
That glove and star chips is like, man, I wanted one of those so bad.
Yeah, that would have been cool just to have with your little dual disc that flipped out, the little springs.
Did you know anyone who had a dual disc?
I had a friend that had one that strapped to the arm, so one strap on the forearm, one strap on the wrist, and I swear it had like this little spring thing in it. Am I imagining it, or is that like a Mandela effect?
That's exactly what I'm thinking in my head, because I didn't know like anyone who was that much of a pussy slayer to have a dual disc back in the day. But I wanted one. Hey, I wanted one so bad. I used to have this Yu-Gi-Oh magazine, and you would it had little slips and stuff that you could put the cards that you collected in, and it was like, this is where you put Dark Magician, and this is where you put all the big episode, all the big cards. You put them in there. But it had.
I was only like we were at the best we had was probably just like one of them basic dual mats. It was like a poster that you can kind of sit on your wall that has like the 5 and 5. The other person has it flipped over. That was probably the extent of most of my friends.
Mate, that's all you needed. That's all you needed. That's awesome. So we should get into these episodes. What did you think of, this was we started at this episode, so this was our first dalliance back in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! So how'd you feel going into these episodes?
Oh, it was nostalgia. It's like you close your eyes and you hear the Yu-Gi-Oh! But you're sitting at home. It's time to get ready for school. You're having a bowl of cereal. You're sitting down. What was it? Cheese TV originally, then toasted TV.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoy the fuck out of your anime before you go to school. It was
so
good
much
times.
nostalgia. So much nostalgia. Like, as soon as I booted these episodes up, I was like, fuck, I just want a glass of Nesquik. I want a glass of strawberry Nesquik that I'm going to drink with a teaspoon and just make it last the whole 30 minutes. That's what I want. That's what I fucking want.
Yes. That
man.
or some really sugary cereal. Some Fruit Loops. Something really sugary. Just, they work perfectly together.
They do. They really do. So these two episodes that we started off with, Into the Hornet's Nest, and I think the second one is called the Ultimate Great Moth or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think these are great episodes to go into because it's post Yugi losing Exodia, which is good because his deck doesn't automatically have a built-in win condition for every duel, which is cool. And it's the start of Duel Island, which is where the Yu-Gi-Oh! The show really starts to find its feet almost. Like that whole arc is like duel after duel, interesting duelists, interesting environment. We get the big 3D arenas that are the big showy and stuff like that, and you get an absolute mustache twirling villain in Weevil, who's the most like little snot-nosed little fuck. Hey,
He's probably my most hated anime character ever. So fucking annoying. Like, whoever wrote him as a character did really well of making him like an evil, nasty little fucking bastard.
Oh, he's an irredeemable little cunt. Like, he really is. Like,
Yeah.
if you were a parent and that was your kid, you'd just be like, oh, sorry, gonna have to do a really late-term abortion on this one because he is fucking cooked.
You could definitely tell he was one of those kids that had a leash on when he was small.
I had a leash on when I was small, but it's fine. It's because I had bad parents.
You're a little less annoying than that. A lot less.
Yeah. I think the actual duel too between Yugi and that and Weevil is such a fun duel too because we get to see Yugi's deck in full action. I don't know about you, but there's so much nostalgia for Yugi's deck, and that every time I see like one of the monsters come out that I'm so familiar with, and I have so many memories of, like even like not the weird, but like the lesser known one, the more obscure ones like Celtic Guardian or Mammoth Graveyard. Fucking just so good. Such
Not
good.
even great cards, but very nostalgic cards. They're just like they were fucking cool when they come out in the field.
Oh yeah, and I think those two episodes are the first introduction of Summon Skull as well, which is like, I loved Summon Skull. Summon Skull was fucking sick.
2,500 over 1,200. That's nice.
It is nice. And I mean, like, seeing Weevil's whole bug deck too was pretty interesting. It's the first time we've had like a hella niche kind of deck, which is what we see at heaps going forward. Like, basically every duelist on Duel Island has a niche, like a styled deck where it's all, I'm the water guy, so all my cards are going to be water cards, and I'm the dinosaur kid, so all my cards are going to fucking be dinosaurs and rah. So we start off with Weevil and his bug deck.
It kind of feels like the start of Pokemon as well, how you start off with bug catchers and then you progress on to stronger things, and even the ultimate moth that starts off as a caterpillar, goes in the cocoon and turns into the great moth, or
it's
would like in Pokemon with the Butterfree.
Yeah, it's true. There is a lot of parallels there between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. That's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, Weevil is kind of like the little bug catcher on Route 1 that you just fucking squash as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Level
Yeah.
6 fucking Charmander just charring Caterpies left, right, and center. God, love
Just
it.
after you beat Joey's fucking top tier Rattata, you go into the forest and destroy everyone in there. They're all weevils, little bastards.
All little fucking sociopaths. You know what? Because that episode starts off with a flashback of Weevil throwing Exodia off the boat on the way to Duel Island, which is one of the wildest things to happen. Could you imagine a snot-nosed little kid grabbing what are probably the rarest Yu-Gi-Oh cards in existence? Priceless cards. Actually priceless cards, and throwing them overboard while like sniveling. You just and the person who did it is 1/4 of your size. You'd just punt the kid off. You'd punt him off next.
oath.
As if, why didn't like Joey and Tristan just like pick him up one arm, one leg each and just be like, okay, right here, let's get rid of this little fucking demon child.
Oh yeah, that's it. That show, but that's a lot of foreshadowing in that of how a lot of things are played out throughout the season. It's like there'll be really unforgivable things said by people, and then as soon as that ends, they're all friends. They're all okay together. It's such a strange way to.
Especially with like characters that we see in the next couple of episodes, we're going to talk about like Bakura, who's like basically attempts to murder them 3 times, and they're all just like, yeah, but we're friends. It's like, no, you're not. Yeah. This man is actively trying to kill you.
And the mind crush thing that he has as well, just like like someone's just died. It's like, what just happened to him?
Yeah. Is that the
moving on.
flashback? Is that the flashback May has where Yu-Gi-Oh just fucking mind crushes a dude for doing something like
that was Yugi. Yeah, I was thinking that was Bakura, but yeah.
yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh just does like a full mind crush of some dude at high school, and he's like, yeah, well that guy's dead. You shattered his mind.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, he's a vegetable on life support for the rest of his life. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I always wondered what the actual aftermath of all that actually was.
I mean,
it's just
they don't ever go into it.
It's probably good.
I
they
mean,
don't.
I think we need to address an elephant in the room too that me and you have talked about off pod before we started recording. The first season of Yu-Gi-Oh is a fucking cheat fest. Every motherfucker is cheating. Like everyone is cheating.
Everyone except like Yugi and Joey. They're not hiding it either. It's very fucking blatant. It's like,
it's so blatant. Like
believe
Pegasus basically just comes straight out and says like, yeah, I can read all your cards. I can read your mind. Like you can't hide anything from me. And I created this game. And like even Weevil is doing some like fucking underhanded shit because he like leads him on a goose chase to get to the field advantage that's going to be best for him. And like, you know, they're all just fucking dirty cheats. They really are.
Yeah. But as soon as like the fight's over, they're all cool with each other.
Oh yeah. They're all just fucking best pals again. Oh man. What did you think of the nonsense tomfoolery that was going on during that moth battle with the Mothra or the Great Moth or whatever it is becoming like wet because of a card, and that making it vulnerable to lightning because it's wet, and that made the summon skull stronger, which is a mechanic that is never used again from my memory. Like elemental effectiveness.
Is it even a like? Does it actually happen in game? I don't know. But
I don't think it does.
I wrote some notes down for this specifically. It's like, oh no, you can't stop my bug army. Oh no, you stopped my bug army. I'm gonna make a moth. Oh no, they're the same power. My moth does poison damage. Oh wait, you have a specific card for that. Oh no, you killed my other card. Oh, it's still raining. Oh shit. What the hell? Like, there's always an answer to everything.
Yeah, and the answer doesn't actually make sense in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, and is never repeated again in another game, or at least in the episodes we saw. But I think for me, because this is one of the episodes I put up as like one of my all-time favorites, I think for me, it's just Weevil is such a great villain Like, he's so truly awful in every sense of the word. And the battle between the bugs and Yugi's deck is actually pretty engaging. Like, the Great Moth, takes like a whole episode to hatch, and when it does, it's this fucking terrifyingly large thing. And then, we get to meet Summon Skull for the first time, and he's this new beefy fucking monster in Yugi's deck that just came out of nowhere, And we get to see a fusion from Yugi's deck between Gaia and Dragon? Curse of Dragon, yeah. Which is fantastic. Man, there's just...
It's what, a 2,000 and a 2,300 monster make a 2,600 monster, and it's funny how there's a lot of just equal up to the power and stalemate attacks, so that both of us die together.
I think a lot of that too is because they've got such few life points to work with. I think that's why in subsequent seasons they bump it up to 4,000 life points. They double it. Because, realistically, you can only take, 2 hits in 2,000 with 2,000 life points. 2 to 3 hits and you're tapping out. So they have to... I think the showrunners have to try and make it as tight as possible. So, yeah, there is a lot of mirror match battles.
Yeah. Well, yeah, one Blue Eyes could pretty much ruin an entire battle in one go.
Let alone a Blue Eyes Ultimate.
No need for tributes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go for it.
So I think that's why we see it get bumped up straight away in the next. I don't think it's bumped up. It might be bumped up in the next season of Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's definitely bumped up by the time GX rolls around.
Oh, definitely when they have the God cards, it's definitely up there then.
Yeah.
But is that the next season? I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure.
Man, I think it is, but yeah, there's no God cards in this season, which is crazy. To think, because there's Exodia.
There is Exodia, but yeah, like as you said, just got thrown off the side of a fucking boat.
We see him once in the first episode, and then thrown off a boat by episode 4.
Yeah,
amazing.
So sad to see. But it's not even that. It's like these are cards, right? And it doesn't seem like anyone protects their cards other than just having them in their pocket, or as Yuki's grandfather had the Blue Eyes in a tiny little box. But
they can't be made out of cardboard then, right? Surely they're not. They've got to be thin metals of iron. They're paper thin iron.
The cards are actually hammered into the metal.
Yeah.
The designs.
Or they're ATM card, the same thing ATM cards are made out of, that hard plastic. That's what they are.
Yeah. They need to be one of those two things with how they fucking throw them about.
Otherwise, there'd just be foxed cards everywhere with foxed ears and all this shit. Fucking my Yu-Gi-Oh cards all look like fucking hell because I haven't had them in any sort of plastic sleeve for 20 years. Not 20, 10.
I don't think mine have corners on them anymore. They're all rounded.
Except the ones I laminated that I printed off a friend's printer to make fake cards.
Oh yeah, that was a thing too.
that was a huge thing. So how did you feel about these 2 episodes? Did you have as much nostalgia for them as I did?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, one of the things looking back into the actual anime is the Great Moth itself. Weevil putting that out in the field, and as it goes through its bug stages to come out as a Great Moth. That's always been there. I never really forgot about that episode at all.
It's such an iconic design too. The moth is so big and terrifying, and the cocoon or whatever you want to call it is just so gross looking. It's really just good and gross cartoon, which I fucking love. But we've got a fucking heaps more episodes to talk about, so let's fucking mosey on down to episode 22, 23, and 24, which was you voted for these episodes. So I'll let you kick this one off.
Okay, so the face-off, that was... you're going to have to help me here, bro. I'm not...
So that was Sento Kaiba versus Yugi Moto.
Oh,
That
my
was the
apologies.
first appearance of Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon.
Yeah, I was looking way up in my notes, and I put that right down the bottom because he does come out in the third part of this face off. But yeah, that very memorable as a child watching not just a Blue Eyes come out, but also a Hydra version, a 3-headed fucking Ultra Beast come out.
Yeah, and also it's the first episodes we see, and I think maybe the only episodes where they use the dual disc system, which I always thought was really cool. I fucking loved the dual disc system. So
Yeah.
if you can't remember, and how could you? Because this is just like it appeared in 3 episodes of a series that aired fucking 15 years ago. But it was instead of the big stadium system for dueling, they had Sento Kaiba's new technology, which was the dual disc system, which was basically like a disc, like a big frisbee, like a big fuck off frisbee that they had in their hands, and it had like 4 slots on the outside and 1 slot in the middle, and you would put all your cards in there, and then you would like throw it out like a frisbee and spin it like a Beyblade on the ground, and then it would throw up a big hologram of whatever monster you played. And then your cards that were in your hand would appear in front of you like big fuck off cards, like hovering in the air in front of each player as their hand. And man, that fucking, I wish that stayed around in more duels because I fucking loved it. I thought it looked so much better than the big stadium things.
Yeah, it's such a cool concept.
Yeah. So what do we get? What do we get in these episodes? We get Blue Eyes Ultimate.
Oh, well, I mean, then we also get Pegasus trapping Mokuba as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of foreshadowing for what he needs to be doing and bringing his brother back.
Yeah.
And, oh, God, one thing that just really frustrated me, but this is something over the whole season, is just Taya and her supportiveness, and they just they have it in there so much.
I mean, they're best friends.
Overbearing. It's
Friends
overbearing.
Friends can. These couple of episodes start off with the funniest montage with Taya though, with Taya just being like, you know, it's so weird when I see Yu-Gi-Oh duel, when I see Yugi duel, it's almost like he's a different person, but like, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But like at this point, we've spent 22 episodes seeing Yugi have a transformation sequence in every episode where he turns into the Pharaoh, grows 3 foot and gets a jawline, drops his voice down 4 octaves, and no one fucking notices that he looks any different. He's so much taller when he's Yu-Gi-Oh! Like when he's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's fucking insane.
It's hilarious watching them walk along when he's just regular Yugi.
He's so tiny.
Kristen and Joey are literally double the height of him.
He's so... And, like, he's got no jawline. There's no jawline whatsoever. But then he starts dueling, and that whole episode kicks off with, like, a 2-minute sequence of Taya being like, man, it's so crazy. He's like a different person sometimes, and I suppose he's been that way ever since I met him, and he always seems to step up, and you know what? Maybe there is someone else living inside Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi, but... you know, that doesn't mean anything because I'm still his best friend and we're going to stick together no matter what. And it's just like, it's so pointless to be in there because the whole audience knows that there's 2 different people. And like, it's, to start addressing it in episode 22 is fucking insane.
Yeah, took a little while, but we're there. It's just for the slow people that are watching, just in case no one's caught on yet, that Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah, the one that glows and kicks up.
If he was at home or unsure either.
The one that glows and starts like violently shaking around his neck whenever he starts dueling, and then it shoots out a blue light with lightning all around him, and then he steps out of the blue light 3 foot taller with a jawline. Yeah, no, that Millennium Puzzle's doing something.
Surely the difference between Taya and Taya is quite significant to her.
Yeah, and he's like, his Yugi voice is so cute. He's just like, yeah, we're friends and we can do it. And then when he's like dueling, he's like, I send out Dark Magician
In attack mode.
Kaiba, I will not stand your tomfoolery. Now, to the Shadow Realm. It's so... I fucking love it, man. But yeah, those face-off episodes are really good, and I'm so glad you picked them because, yeah, I had so much nostalgia for the Duel Disc and for the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And also, I'd completely forgotten how that episode, or how that fight, that duel, concludes with Sento Kaiba pulling out the biggest dick move ever, but also a kind of a cool dick move, you know what I mean? Where he just where he steps to the edge of the castle and was like, oh, I'm going to lose, so maybe you should finish me off, and I might just fall and kill and die, and then you'll be a murderer, and you'll have to live with that. And
it sucks to be you then.
yeah, it's just like, oh, fuck. Either you're going to murder someone or I'm going to win this duel. What's it going to be? And I love how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just like, yeah, well, I'm going to kill you because, you know, it's not till Taya runs in and...
No. But yeah, it's like, Kaiba was fighting for like his brother. It's a good cause, but at the same time being an unbearable dick. Like
he's such an unbearable dick. And like, even when he's doing his big compassionate speech at the start of the duel where he's like, I've changed, you know, I used to be in it for just me, but now I'm in it for someone else. And I have to believe now more than ever in the heart of the cards. And then as soon as he starts the duel, he's like, you're an idiot, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, Yugi, you're scum. I hate you. And it's just like, what the fuck? We just dial it back, brother.
No. They go hard, eh? They go hard with it. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Sento
like,
Kaiba, unrelinquishing dickhead.
One other thing I always found this is quite hilarious, the way that when Yuki really uses the heart of the cards and pulls a card out of the deck, but when he pulls it out, he puts it at full arm length away from him and faces a card outwards, so you can see the back of the card facing the camera, which basically means everyone else can see the face of the card. Yeah. Not really any secrets here, Yugi.
Nah. Oh, the good old heart of the card draw is so fantastic because, like, it's always like, I mean, it's overused too, but it's always like such a crucial moment in the duel, and it's just like, I've just got to believe in the heart of the cards, and it's just like, haha, just the card I needed.
Pulls it 1 out of 50 every fucking time.
Every time. He basically seems to start off with the same starting hand every fucking turn, like every duel.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like the memorable ones always stay in there. But as a card player, like a poker player, knowing that how limited these cards are and percentage wise that they come out, it's so fucking bullshit. I wish I had the heart of the cards playing poker. I wish that was actually a thing because I'll be good at it. Oh,
mate. As someone who had a crippling addiction to Hearthstone, I watched this and just being like, that's some bullshit luck. That's some fucking bullshit luck. You're telling me you get a turn 3 Dark Magician every game? Turn 3 Dark Magician every game. Guaranteed. That's some fucking nonsense.
Look, it happens, but not that fucking often.
This 3-part face-off episode is where we get to see a tactic that Yugi will use time and time again, actually. He'll use this one a fair bit. The Karibo Multiply combination, where he plays his Karibo card with the magical card Multiply, which for some reason, only in this show and not in the game, and it doesn't ever seem to react this way in any other time I've seen it played in the show, creates like 1 billion little Karibos on his team. Like 1 billion. There's so many, and they just keep like multiplying constantly. And
there is one other time when it does come up when he's against Pegasus.
Yeah, he uses it again against Pegasus and the Relinquished. But like I've seen it used. I think I've seen that card used in GX. I know I've seen that card used in GX, and it doesn't work that way. But then again, the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking change game to game, seemingly. There's no fucking rhyme or rhythm to this game.
Oh, absolutely not. Like, actually playing the card game, we used to sit down and play this game. Phil and the boys and us would play together. And if you were to pull any of this shit...
oh my God.
You better believe the boys are going to fucking give you some shit.
If you tried to pull 3 blue eyes and put them down on the same turn without any sacrifices or nothing, you would have walked away with a black eye. There's no way you're
100%.
pulling that stuff. Are you kidding me? Tyson would have jumped over the coffee table and kicked your face in for even thinking that you could do that.
Yeah, that would have been the end result. There was nothing else that would have happened.
No. Oh man. The 3-part face-off episode, the way it ended, did you remember that Yugi lost? Did you remember that?
I did not from when I remember it. I don't. Oh well, I didn't really remember Yugi ever losing. Is the main...
Neither did I. That's the thing. Because the one thing I always remembered about this show, well, I always thought I remembered, was that Yu-Gi-Oh never lost the duel, and I was always like, yeah, well, looking back on it, you can't really go back to that show with any sort of suspense because Yugi never lost. And when this episode happened and Yugi it was looking like Yugi was about to lose and throw the game, I was like, well, no, that's not going to happen. Obviously Kaiba's going to step down from the ledge, come to his senses, and Yugi's just going to agree to help Makuba as well, because you know that's what Yugi does, and he's a sensible guy, and everything will be resolved and it'll all be good. And then it's just like, nope, Yugi lost, and Kaiba continued to be a dick. Congratulations. And I was like, Yugi doesn't lose.
Yeah, well, Taya came in to fuck everything up.
She didn't fuck everything up. She saved everything. And eventually she saved him again because she's the one that got... I don't know why he was so hard against Taya. I like Taya.
I just feel like he should have won that one. Bad luck, Kaiba. Don't put yourself in such bad positions.
Yeah, and I mean, it didn't work out too well for him because he's in the Shadow Realm fucking 48 hours later. You know what I mean? Like, he's just fucking gone. So we should move on to those series of episodes, which was Champion vs. Creator Part 1 and Part 2. So episode 26 and 27. I think this is probably one of my favorite 2 episodes in the series. I thought these two, maybe because Yugi wasn't in it, like Yugi wasn't dueling, I just was like really engaged with this because it's not often, like with the exception of Joey duels, you don't really see any other duels that aren't that don't have Yugi in it. You know what I mean? It's either Yugi dueling or Joey dueling. So it was good to see Kaiba versus Pegasus, and it's the first time we really see Pegasus go all out in a duel, and it's the first appearance of what I'm going to say one of the coolest cards in this season, Toon World.
Absolutely.
I
Awesome
loved
card.
Toon World. It's so good. It's broken beyond belief.
Oh yeah.
But such a good card, man. How do you feel about these 2 episodes?
Much like as we're going through the list there, like when we were talking about them originally, like Toon World was something that just instantly popped out in my mind as well, as a card, and how bullshit it was in the show, watching it come out, and then having that Toon Blue Eyes in there as well.
It's the cutest fucking thing, hey. I forgot how cute it was, and then I saw it, I was like, fuck, that's cute. It's so cute. And even... it's only one up by Toon Summon Skull, which we get when Yugi versus Pegasus. But yeah, Toon World fucking rules, man. God, it's so good.
The whole thing behind it being that Pegasus created this game and he created this fucking bullshit card, but he didn't let anyone else know about it or see
Never
it.
put it into circulation because it was too powerful. So no one knows anything about it. So it's fucking cheating on top of cheating. So not only is he cheating because he invented the game, created a card that's too powerful and never gave it to anyone, but he's also cheating because with his Millennium Eye, he can read your mind and know the cards you're playing. It's like he's cheating on top of cheating on top of cheating. He's the biggest fucking cheater.
But like, also the great thing about it, he's like an 80s camp villain as well.
He's so good too.
Oh, Yugi boy.
Kaiba boy. Oh, your blue eyes white dragon is now mine. Oh, and he's always undoing his little neckerchief and retying it up, and he's like, oh, and he brushes his long hair aside, and he's like, oh, I can see into your mind, Kaiba boy. It's so fucking good. Everything he says is so horny too. Like he's just so much pent up frustration. Like you just know that he's like just full erect anytime he's dueling like Kaiba or Yugi.
100%. What is it like? Is it this pinkish like outfit that he has as well.
Yeah, and he's got like a double-breasted like red jacket. Like I regret, like we recorded an episode, like I recorded an episode a few days ago about the best outfits in anime. You would have heard it. Would have been like one of the last episodes that were out. If you're a listener, and I regret, like, it's crazy that I didn't put anyone from this series on best outfits of anime, because like not only is Yugi's outfit fucking iconic beyond belief, but like Joey's outfit's a slapper. Fucking Pegasus is dressed to the nines. Fucking Mia, are you kidding me?
Oh,
What
speaking of outfits, I just got to say early on, like, Kaiba is this, like, he owns Kaiba Corp, right? He owns this massive, like, corporation.
The most,
But
the,
he's
the,
also-
the like the equivalent of Apple in our world, or no, probably not Apple anymore. The equivalent of fucking Tesla.
Yeah, something like that. And he's a student? Is he a student at the school? They're all wearing, like, he's wearing the blue outfit in the cafeteria while Joey and Yugi are having this battle. And he's just chilling there, a few tables away in the same blue outfit.
It's just, it's so wild. And then, like, he looks a lot older than everyone else, too. And he just gets a helicopter everywhere. He's just got helicopter service everywhere. Just always in a helicopter, getting off a helicopter, fucking at a computer in a helicopter. It's fucking wild.
But is he a student? Is he just got all access pass to everything and just has the uniform for it?
Yeah. Maybe he owns the school. I think in GX, Kaiba Corp is the one that builds the school, I believe. The Duel Academy that Jade and everything goes to. So yeah, I think in the show, Kaiba Corp is like the most expensive and like crazy company ever, because I think in later seasons, Kaiba Corp have developed like a full like virtual reality world that people get lost into, like that's like fucking nuts, like Matrix level virtual reality that Kaiba Corp creates. It's fucking, the last couple of seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh are crazy. I'm glad we stuck to just season 1, because not only is that where all of my nostalgia seemingly is, but it's still not super convoluted at this point. Like there's definitely points in it where like, okay, this is a bit far-fetched, but like it's still as grounded as the show ever is season 1. Everything else apart from this is fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, but just going off from how the game goes, it is completely fucking wild. Just the bottom line, it's fucking wild.
It's just crazy that like this is a card game. This is a show about a card game, and this is how crazy it gets. Like just these series of episodes are up to Yugi vs Pegasus is basically 2 duels with seemingly 2 completely separate decks for Pegasus, because the first half of like the first 2 and a bit episodes of the 5-part series is Yugi going up against Pegasus, and Pegasus is throwing out all his Toon World nonsense and reading Yugi's mind, and Yugi can't get anything, and then Yugi and Yu-Gi-Oh develop a stratagem, if you will, to trick Pegasus's mind reading by constantly switching between turns, and so, you know, they separate their minds, and it's really good. And then as soon as Pegasus looks like he's losing, he's like, to the Shadow Realm, puts them in the Shadow Realm, and seemingly just gets a completely new deck with all these fucking weird eye creature things. No tunes to be seen. Or like the Relinquished and all that fucking shit.
Yeah, like Funny Bunny was way out the fucking window at that point.
Oh, there was fucking no Funny Bunnies. What did you think of the Relinquish and stuff like that? Because I know when we first started talking about this, you mentioned the Relinquish like straight away.
That image of the Thousand Eyes Restrict is like one of the nostalgic images in my mind of Yu-Gi-Oh. Just seeing that monster come out, but like it's all dark in the background. They're in the Shadow Realm as well. It's just like this thing. It's got 0 and 0 attack and defense. I can't read what the cards are when we're watching it, but this shit's got some power.
It's also so gross looking too. I don't know if like this, it only springs to mind for me, but the way it like twitches and fucking moves, it moves like a fleshy bit of muscle. Like it just twitches like Have you ever seen like videos of like people like spasming muscles when they get like a cramp or something like that?
Yeah. That's
It
pretty.
looks like-
That's pretty accurate.
It looks like that. I fucking hate it, man. It's so gross looking. But like, it's such an iconic villain. And when you said when you suggested this episode, I couldn't remember what episodes it was, because I don't remember these as the relinquished episodes. I remember these as the Chaos Magician episodes, because it's when we finally get to meet the Chaos Magician, which is Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of like trump card for a while. And I fucking loved the Chaos Magician. I thought it was sick. I fucking loved the design of it. I thought it was so cool. Like I've always liked Dark Magician. I thought Dark Magician was cool, and like Dark Magician Girl has let's just say, don't ever type that into my search bar, but I've always liked those two designs, but the Chaos Magician is just, it's so iconic, dude. It's so fucking gorgeous.
It's like getting the Dark Magician, but like getting to design your own kind of skin kind of thing, and this is like the ultimate skin that you get on it.
Yeah,
It
it's
makes
like
so fucking cool.
yeah, it's like the glow up for Dark Magician. You know what I mean? It's like Dark Magician 2.0. It's fucking sick, man.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Yugi had like a ritual cards in his deck up until that point.
He also has a ritual summon of, I want to say it's the Buster Swordsman or the Luster Swordsman, the Black Luster Swordsman.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only other time, because that's the only other card that I can think of that uses the ritual as well. But man, that's a mechanic that I never actually ran in like any deck ever, was ritual summonings and stuff like that, because it was too confusing in the actual game.
Yeah, well, I was just getting them out of boosters. You needed to get one and the other. And I swear that when you got the ritual card, you didn't always get the card to go with it.
And I didn't buy a lot of boosters. I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast. My parents bought me the character decks. So like I had just Joey Wheeler's deck was my deck. So it was just all the cards that you see Joey Wheeler had. Oh man,
Black Dragon and Time
Flaming
Wizard.
Swordsman, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and like Flaming Swordsman Dragon. Oh, can we talk about Joey's Boston accent, because it's a highlight through this whole series. I fucking love. It's so good. He's such a dickhead too. Like he's so fucking trying to be tough and everything.
Arrogant. But
I
yeah,
fucking love him.
But it just suits him as a character. But actually, when it comes down to it, even though he sounds like a dickish New Yorker, that he's actually a really nice dude. He's a really good dude to Yugi and the friends.
Like that whole that you know, that group of friends, even when Bakura's in there as well, and he's not being a fucking murderer psychopath. When it's Tristan, Taya, Joey, Yugi, and Bakura, like they're so wholesome, man. Like Tristan, like what a nothing character. Like what a character that just adds absolutely nothing to the storyline. But God forbid, if you were to take Tristan out, I would be fucking ropeable. He adds nothing, but I just fucking love him so much. What does he do? He never duels. He's not helpful in any way. He's just kind of like their friend that they tag along.
He's the big oaf, big lovable oaf, but he's helped in carrying the people who have been knocked out or mind broken.
He's a pack mule.
Them along.
He's basically a pack mule. Everyone needs a pack mule. It's I fucking love Tristan. And like the hair, I mean, we haven't even mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh's hair, which is the most iconic anime hair of all times. Like maybe and Super Saiyan.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of got that Super Saiyan feel to it anyway. It's like when he does transform, there's more blondie streaks going through his hair as well, which is great.
Have you ever seen pictures of people trying to cosplay as Yu-Gi-Oh and they attempt to do their hair? Because it is...
I want to see that right now. That sounds amazing.
I'm fully letting everyone do like just Google it now. Yu-Gi-Oh cosplay hair.
Oh, wow. Like Like,
Oh,
that's
it's
what's going
good.
on? Like, there's some that look like they're just like bits of material, like felt or some shit that are put together.
there's
Some
some that
is-
are like wigs, and there's other people that have just like gone for it with their natural hair, and it looks like they've just wrecked their hair.
Oh. What? There's like one with natural hair that actually looks alright, but the rest of them are just that's fucking wild. Looks like bits of oh wow.
Yeah, there's
That's
oh,
incredible.
there's
If you're not
yeah,
looking at this
there's-
now, you definitely need to look at this now. That's
because
awesome.
oh my god, there's some that are just so atrocious. Because it's like what it is. It's purple outlined, black body with blonde streaky bits.
Yeah, through the center of the black spikes is one person's got it here is like lightning bolts going through.
It's such iconic. But even like Joey's hair goes out so far from his head that either he has the fucking pointiest, most oblong shaped head in the world, or his hair is just like so high, like it must be like a perm under there, because it literally comes out like a foot off his head into like a point and then falls naturally down. And like Tristan has basically just like a metal spike for a haircut.
Well, the one that I really liked was at the Duelist Island, Pegasus's Island, like the main security guy. His hair's pretty much just like a spike at his fringe, just to one point. So like I feel like if he really got in danger in a fight, he could just bend forward and stab someone with it.
It's so fucking great. I love all of Pegasus's minions because they're all just like beefy dudes with like sunglasses and jackets on, and they're always just like, it's like just thinking of that in put it into context. Like this is a card game where a bunch of kids were sent to an island to play cards, and you've got just the biggest beefcake security walking around all the time. And they're always just so slapsticks. They're always just like, oh, what's that noise? I better look around this corner. And all the kids just like twinkle toe behind them, like into the fucking gate. It's fucking just like in those episodes where Yugi's fighting Pegasus, Tristan is like down in the dungeon and stuff. And he literally sneaks up on a guard who's literally just sitting in a hallway, just being like, "Oh boy, this is the most boringest job I've ever had." And then he looks up, and there's Tristan. And he's like, "Oh no!" And Tristan puts a helmet, like a knight's helmet, on him, and just pushes him to the ground. And then he passes out. It's fucking. And it's just like
The whole scene before it though, like it's like the guards immediately around the corner, so Tristan jumps inside the armor suit, and then around the corner, like they disappeared into this hidden tunnel, but he trips and falls and finds it immediately.
yeah.
Like there's no suspense.
And also
there, just find it.
The conversation the guards are having on their way past Tristan is just like, oh boy, that kid back there, he really ain't doing much. Oh, this is crazy. It's crazy that we're watching this kid over in that cage behind us. It's crazy. And then they hop on. It's like, this is just, it's not even, you're not even trying it. It's fucking great.
Yeah. But then they've got like, for just all that, like the handful of duelists, they got like this whole like elaborate underground like computer setup system, like how NASA has.
It's so,
And massive
it's so over the
TVs.
top.
And then they've all got like them glasses where they have like the Google glasses, how they can all see out in front of them.
Yeah,
as well. Like,
there's screens everywhere, and they're also wearing like the screen visor sunglasses, so you can just imagine there's screens on their face while they're looking at screens. It's screens on screens on screens. It's so good.
on a hat.
Another highlight I had during the Yugi Pegasus episodes was Tristan again. He's sneaking through with Bakura, and they find he's got Mokuba, and he finds Bakura, and Bakura uses his Millennium Piece to send a bunch of guards to the graveyard. And I was like, oh wait, he just killed them. And then the next scene is them just landing in an actual graveyard, and they're just like they're like, oh boy, what are we doing here? And then a weird Grim Reaper flies down, and you just hear him go, oh no. It's so fucking stupid.
Oh wow. But like, Bakura has absolutely no worries taking them out, and then Tristan has no worries taking Bakura out.
Oh yeah, he's just like so
like-
fun, and the way he takes. The way he takes Bakura out is he goes, oh yeah, you can have a Mokuba. And he goes, catch him. And he just throws this little kid at this murderer. And then, whoocha, karate chop to the neck.
Karate chops him.
Fucking dumb.
Amazing.
Fuck, I loved
So
it,
amazing.
man. We should probably move on to the last section. I don't have much more to say about the Yugi versus Pegasus duel. I think it's good, and it keeps going for a bit too long. I think a 5-part series is fucking heaps.
Yeah.
And it basically boils down to Yugi winning through the power of friendship.
Believing in the heart of the cards.
Heart of the
How you
cards.
win.
And his friends. Now, the last bit of episodes I put up was episode 46 to 50, Dungeon Dice Monsters. I had so much nostalgia for this series. This was the 5 episodes that I've thought about fucking ever since I've watched them. I loved this part of the show.
Yeah. They were really fun. Like a new concept to the whole game as well, which is like, it was just
And,
awesome.
like-
I was like, I want to play this as well.
And I would say a cooler version of Kaiba in Devon.
Duke, is it Duke? Duke Devon or
It's Duke Devon, I believe.
Duke?
Yeah, Duke.
Devon.
No, Duke Devlin. Duke
Devlin.
Devlin. I've always called him Devon. Yeah, but Duke Devlin and his dungeon dice monsters. And yeah, like we've if you've watched all the episodes, like we didn't watch all the episodes, we watched the 16 or so we picked. But if you'd watched all the episodes, basically you would have seen 45 episodes of dungeon monsters, like of not dungeon monsters, duel monsters, and then to finish the season, a completely separate game, something really new. And again, Yu-Gi-Oh's versing the creator of a game with no idea how it works, no fucking training whatsoever. He's just basically like, okay, pick some dice and let's do this. And we'll see if I win, you have to give up duel monsters forever. It's like, why would you accept that?
I mean, I suppose it's not as bad as like fighting for your grandfather's soul, but you know, it's up there.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, he's basically fighting for Joey's soul because Joey somehow gets tricked into being a cheerleader in a dog costume. I don't know.
That was only for a week. It wasn't a very long time, but yeah, he's like, he came into town and started his own game shop, which kind of ruined Yugi's grandpa's business. Kind of.
I mean, the death of small business. Fucking this big ass conglomerate moves in with his new fucking fancy kerfangled fucking dice monsters.
Oh, just back onto something I said before. I'm pretty sure he's got a school uniform, a blue school uniform on it.
I think he does too. Yeah,
Yeah,
he does, which is a shame because his standard outfit is so strong. I fucking love his outfit. The red vest, the golden arm bracelets, the checkered headband,
as well.
and the
Yeah.
ridiculous fringe. Like his fringe is going in like 5 different directions. It's fucking incredible. Whoever did the character design for Yu-Gi-Oh was just like, let's fucking make sure they can never make this live action by giving him the fucking dumbest hair possible.
You can just imagine them CGing the hair in and it just never works.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's so great. It's so great. So
They
what
should
did you
do it though.
Oh, fuck yeah. A live action Yu-Gi-Oh? Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I'd blow a year's
everything.
salary just seeing it in the cinemas fucking again and again and again and again and again. I'd lose my
100%.
job because all I would be doing is seeing Yu-Gi-Oh live action in the cinemas.
Assuming they don't do it in the same level as the live action Dragon Ball, then I'm there. I'm fucking there.
One
Oh,
day I'm
that's
gonna
pretty-
do an episode about Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm gonna do it.
Oh.
I've got to wait till I hate myself just enough to watch it again.
Oh, gee, that's gonna be like tough to even talk about in a good way.
Oh, yeah,
There
there's
is
no
good
redeeming.
ways.
There's no redeeming qualities of that show, but something that has many redeeming qualities is the game dungeon dice monsters. Because the thing I like about dungeon dice monsters and these couple of episodes we get is it's a game that you can actually understand. They explain the rules as they go, and at least somewhat makes sense and seems like a playable game that you could play. Although it feels like a lot of games would end up in stalemates just because of the way the dice, you have to make a path and stuff like that. And if you were to just play defensively and cut off, it feels like you could negate it. But I'm sure. Anyway, but like, you know what I mean? It feels like a game you can follow, and maybe because you're learning about it at the same time Yugi's learning about it and you're figuring out. Yeah, I really love this game. I thought it was fucking so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, then again, it's like back to the old protagonist antagonist thing where the enemy is again an unbearable fucking dick. Like Jukes just every minute, at least every minute, he's just calling Yugi out for being a cheater and a liar.
Oh yeah, he's so smug too. Like. And basically every time he opens his mouth, he just dribbles a little bit more fucking verbal diarrhea out. He's such a dickhead. But he's one of the characters that I remember really fondly because he turns to the good side after this, and he's really tight knit with the crew, and I really like him because I think design wise he's cool. But yeah, in these couple of episodes, an unbearable dick. I mean, looking at all the villains that we covered in these, just in the episodes we chose to watch in our favorite episodes, from Weevil to Kaiba to Pegasus to Devon, Duke, if you will, they all are so irredeemable in the battles they're in, and all on various levels. Like Weevil is like the most obnoxious little brat ever that you just want to fucking hold under a bathtub of water until the last fucking bubble comes out. Kaiba is like Kaiba is like an unrelenting rich guy dickhead, like just pure fucking rich guy arrogance, and he's just so smug. And like Pegasus is like the most camp 80s villain ever, who's just fuck.
I did like Pegasus out of the whole lot. He just seemed like
he's the best. He's the best one for sure. Like he might be objectively the most evil because of the stuff he does, and he's like obviously the biggest cheat. But like him, like I fucking loved Pegasus the whole time. Just like Yugi boy, like it's so good.
Yeah, and then Duke's just as he is, massive.
Yeah.
Dick.
He's
Business
just
owner.
He's a massive dick, hey? A massive smug dick who is so convinced that Yugi cheated, which is, I mean, if you are an outsider and if you haven't watched the things we watched and you don't know, the fact that Yugi went from never playing the game to within the space of a couple months defeating the world champion, defeating the creator of the game, you know, winning Duel Island, winning every duel he's basically ever done except one, you would assume, okay, this kid's cheating. But it turns out that literally every other player of the game was cheating.
What is the skill level? It's like Yugi is like a monster at this game compared to everyone else who cheats their way to the top.
Yeah, but mate, is Yugi cheating too? Because I mean, Yugi's not the one who's dueling.
Oh, that's true. That's one thing I did think about. It's like he gets 2 mines versus 1 most of the time.
Yeah, and also the pharaoh that's possessing Yugi was one of the original shadow duelists who helped create the game and helped put an end to the era of shadow dueling and stuff like that. So yeah, he's not a newbie. He's a veteran of the industry, fucking pretending to be a newbie. He's basically smurfing. He's running a Smurf account.
What a good description. Never thought of it like that. That's amazing.
Yuki's a Smurf account. I like that.
But like that in itself. But it's like, so how old is Pegasus? Like there's the shadow realm and all that stuff where Yugi originally started, and then Pegasus is the creator of this game.
Yeah, Pegasus is like so. Pegasus, if I'm remembering the backstory correctly, Pegasus was an archaeologist or was on an archaeology excursion, and he discovered the Tomb of the Pharaohs that had the the original stone tablets that had the Duel Monster cards on them, and then he used that as inspiration to create Duel Monsters, but using the same like magic fucking nonsense to do it as well.
Look at these tablets. I can make something out of this and create a business.
I can trick scores of young boys to come to my island to play my card game.
Delightfully devilish.
If you could read my mind, you could see yourself naked.
Wouldn't you like to see that, Yugi boy?
Yugi boy.
Oh my god.
Fucking. I don't know about you, but I'm like Australian version of Pegasus would just be Ralph Harris, right? Just with a giant Yu-Gi-Oh card as a wobble board, just being like, children.
Would you like to make some music?
This is fucking nonsense. Oh man. Out of all the episodes that we put up, all our favorite episodes, from the Hornet's Nest to the Face Off to Champion vs Creator to Yugi vs Pegasus to Dungeon Dice Monsters, do you reckon, out of all our favorite episodes we watched after this rewatch, do you reckon you've got a new favorite episode? Do you reckon you can cement down what you think are your favorite episodes from this first season now?
Oh, I'd say I could. Yeah, these were my favorite episodes coming back into it. Like even getting what I would say was very memorable was seeing Relinquished, but also the Magician of Black Chaos coming out in that same episode. It will be a bit more memorable for me in the future, like more as it goes on, because that was a really fucking cool monster. Like,
yeah,
it's definitely up there. But yeah, just like the Great Moth, the ultimate Great Moth. Just like they're all fucking cool.
Yeah, I think for me too, it's really hard to pick any of these over the top. I think the ones that I'm surprised that I enjoyed like a lot was Champion vs Creator, because it's one although I'm really nostalgic for Toon World, I probably wouldn't have put those two episodes. I probably would have put Yugi up against Toon World with the Yugi vs Pegasus. Mm-hmm. But yeah, something about seeing Toon World for the first time, the duel between Pegasus and Kaiba, the Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon, Kaiba losing, and just like getting to see Pegasus in all his glory as this just fucking over the top camp villain, a massive cheater, and like also just like so terrifying. Yeah, he's a man-child, but he's also like kind of terrifying because he's making everyone play this game that he created and that he can cheat at very easily. And the thing he's holding as a bargaining chip are the souls of your loved ones. So it's like he's fucking, what an unrelenting fucking narcissistic villain. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, the first play, like Kaiba destroys his monster. He's like, "Oh no, you destroyed my monster."
Oh, it's so good. Whatever will I do, Kaiba boy? Oh man, every time I heard the sentence, and you've activated my trap card, I got a fucking at least a semi-erection. Hey, it's such a good. Every time you hear it, it's just like, yeah, son, give it to me. Fucking.
But
loved
it. In saying that for you, also, I've got a newfound love for Pegasus. Like, I always thought that he was just an evil dick, but now he's an evil, lovable dick.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a big fondness for Pegasus. I think I've always had a big fondness for Pegasus, and I think on this rewatch I've got a new appreciation for not so much Yugi, but like, you know, his friends, you know, Tristan and Taya and Joey and stuff like that. They are such an integral part of the show, and I think the thing that stood out a lot on this rewatch is just how much no one explains anything that's happening in this world. Like they don't care that Yu-Gi-Oh looks different fucking scene to scene. You know, no one's really worried, like cares about, you know, why doesn't anyone contact, you know, the police about someone's grandpa's soul being kidnapped, and why does the whole world seem to
in this world?
Who knows? Why does the whole world revolve around this game that at the start of the show is like, oh, what's this new game that you guys are playing? I've never seen this before. And then an episode later, it's just like, well, everyone in this world plays it, and it's basically how anything ever happens, and the whole world seems to run off this game alone. You know, so there's no fucking
get resolved over cards.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even like scenes where like Yu-Gi-Oh's like, oh, well, you're trying to rob this place, or you're like a criminal. Tell you what, we'll settle this with a card game. And it's like, well, no, we won't, because I'm a criminal and you're a high school student. I'm going to settle this by just being a criminal, and you're going to walk away.
Yeah, but they just agree to it, and it's cool.
Yeah. Agree to it, and then lose, and then get their mind shattered by a reincarnation of a pharaoh from the ancient times. Like, it's fucking... What a show, mate. What a show.
Yeah, so good.
Man, we should probably wrap it up there, because we've already hit over an hour. It's been so fantastic. Yeah, man, we've been going for like an hour and 15. It's been so fantastic having you on this episode, Flash. I've been waiting for the longest time for you to come and join Dorktown. You're like the last holdout of our friend groups that hasn't been on yet. So I'm so glad you finally made it. It's been...
Thanks for having me, bro.
Absolutely fantastic, dude. Make sure you're out there on the socials. You can get in touch with us by emailing us at lordsofdorktown@gmail.com, or slide into the DMs on Instagram at lordsofdorktown. Make sure you do all that stuff, rate and review, all that fucking nonsense. I also do another podcast called What's Your Obsession with friend of the show Callum, so make sure you check that out if you're just into fucking nonsense. We talk about crazy stuff all the time, but yeah, go check that out, and keep it dorky. Peace, guys.
Catch us later.
You.